Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? All right, let's get back into the news real quick because there was something from the IMF, and yes, it looks positive, you guys. But every time there's a little smidgen of positive news, don't take it to the next limit because that's what a lot of these people are doing, and that's not what we do here. It is good news. We're going to go ahead and cover that right now. Before we get started, do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button, and if you're not a subscriber, please do so because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. You can follow me over on other platforms. I do have my own group over on Facebook called Pimpy's Investment Chat. Over here, we do talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. So head on over here and join us. It's free to do so. In here, I do post updates. If I should get on suspension from YouTube or get removed from YouTube and you want to know what happened to me, I'll let you know right here in this group. I can be found on Twitter, MeWe, YouTube, and the cool thing about YouTube, if you come over here and you join and you find my channel, I got videos going back, I believe, a couple years. So if you want to see some older videos that I have on Nasera, Jacera, gold, silver, cryptos, come on over here and join. Look me up and check out my videos. You can also find me on Odyssey. Catch me on Rumble. When I say that the links for all these are down below in the description, some of you don't know what I'm talking about. It's real simple. Just go down to the bottom right here of any of my videos. See this? This is the description. Hit show more. And there are all the links to all the platforms I just spoke about. So if you do want to head on over to Money Middles, just click it. And there you are. So come on over. Join us. I look forward to having you. So this first article is what I'm talking about. Yes, the information in it is good, but don't take it to the next level. It is a good report on Iraq. But we know out there's a lot of content creators that take any smidgen of good news and blow it up bigger than it needs to be. The IMF expresses optimism about non-oil financial growth in Iraq, which is a major must for Iraq. They need this to really grow, the non-oil financial growth. So where they could generate revenue outside of just relying on oil is always a major plus. They can't get to this fast enough. They can't get this to grow quick enough. The fact that they rely so much on oil is going to hurt them instead of benefit them. I know there's a lot of people out there going, yeah, but they got so much oil, Pimpy. That don't mean nothing. Because if oil prices fall, guess what? Then they're back to square one. And they will start devaluing the Iraqi Dinar if they can't find alternatives to generate revenue for the state. The fact that in their budget they set such a ridiculous price per barrel of oil was ridiculous. For them to sustain that was going to be really tough. And that's what I said all along. But we'll see how time goes on. Because here's something to consider. Although Biden is an idiot and what he's doing with the whole oil situation is bad. It's bad for consumers. But when Trump gets in office, that's going to be different altogether. You see, Biden was stupid enough to cut off all of our ways to sell our energy. We were the world's number one in exporting energy. Now we're number one in importing energy thanks to Biden. He cut off the pipelines and everything else. Biden did. So what do you think is going to happen when Trump's in office? All those things are going to start back up. And we're going to go back to being number one in exporting energy, which means it's going to saturate the oil market with oil. It's going to drive the oil prices down. So they don't have very long at all to find alternative revenue. So this is the IMF. They're out there to talk about recent economic developments and outlooks, as well as policy plans regarding Iraq. Against the backdrop of a large physical expansion, non-oil GDP is expected to grow by 5% in 2023. Continued budget execution should help sustain strong non-oil growth in 2024. However, lower oil production following the closure of Iraq-Turkey pipeline and OPEC's production cuts will reduce the overall GDP growth in 2023 and 2024. Now, the reduction of production in oil has a lot to do with Biden as well. This is Saudi's response to the way that the Biden administration is treating Saudi Arabia to the point where they pissed them off, and now they're doing this. Not to mention that Russia is part of OPEC as well, so it's not surprising at all. Inflation has declined from its January peak and is projected to stabilize in the coming months, helped by the Central Bank of Iraq's tighter monetary policies passed through from the exchange rate revaluation, lower international food prices, and normalization of trade finance as compliance to the new anti-money laundering, combating the financing of terrorism framework improved. In other words, they decided to behave themselves. Now I heard a content creator try to make this what it wasn't. When they say pass through from the exchange rate revaluation, that's not something they're going to do. This is something that they did. If you remember, they had an exchange rate of 1,450 dinars for every dollar. They changed it to 1,310 dinars for every dollar. That's the exchange rate revaluation that they're talking about, not any futuristic one. The 3-year budget approved in June 2023 marked a shift in Iraq's budgeting practice, envisaged to improve physical planning and continue important development projects over the medium term. Despite a late start of budget implementation, the fiscal balance is expected to shift from a large surplus in 2022 to a deficit in 2023. And of course, in 2022, they had a huge surplus because the government had not been settled yet. Remember that whole entire year of us waiting for them to install a government? Well, they didn't do a whole lot of spending back then. So, of course, they had a huge surplus. And once the government was established, of course, they started spending. And then you got a deficit in 2023. Staff projects that the deficit would widen further in 2024, reflecting the full year impact of recent measures. The large physical expansion, including a substantial increase in public hiring and pensions, created permanent spending that will put pressure on public finances over the medium term. So what they're saying there is, in the beginning, it's going to be a little painful, but like they said, it's medium term. Ensuring physical sustainability in context of uncertain outlook for oil prices requires gradually tightening the fiscal policy stance while safeguarding critical infrastructure and social spending needs. So the social spending needs can be drastically reduced the more they have jobs available for the citizens. Understand that a huge portion of their overall population are young, so they're ready to go to work. The faster you get them off government aid and out there working, then they become taxpayers. This would require mobilizing additional non-oil revenues, containing a large government wage bill, and reforming the pension system. These measures should be supported by moving towards a more targeted social safety net that better protects the vulnerable. The mission welcomed the government's plans to strengthen public financial management, including steps towards the establishment of the Treasury single account. In this context, the mission reiterates the importance of adhering to the framework for managing government guarantees. So before they had to deal with a lot of corruption, money was given out, nobody did any follow-up. A lot of these people just took the money and ran. A lot of projects never got completed. They need to do something about that. They need to get out there and make sure that this money is going to where they say it needs to go to. The CBI has appropriately tightened its monetary policy, including by increasing its policy rate and reserve requirements. The mission welcomed the progress in strengthening the domestic liquidity management framework and encouraged continued efforts to mop up excess liquidity and develop an interbank market to strengthen monetary policy transmissions. One of the ways they handle the liquidity issue is to get everybody on the digital payment system. Structural reform to spur private sectors-led economic diversification and job creation remains pivotal for sustainable and inclusive growth. Priorities include creating a level playing field for the private sector through banking and electricity sector reforms, reducing distortions in the labor market, and continuing efforts to enhance governance and reduce corruption. Electricity is big there as well. We know they're doing everything they can with Siemens to try to do something about their electrical grids, so not relying on Iran, who continue to hold them hostage over the fact that they need electricity from them. But look, if you're an outside investor and you want to get in there and open up a business, one of the things you want to make sure that is there is electricity. The IMF staff team stands ready to support the authorities in their reform efforts and would like to thank them from a candid and productive discussion during this mission. So, good report from the IMF. Like I said, Iraq lately has been doing a lot of really good things, taking steps in the right direction. But one of the issues has now come up that I said we should be paying attention to to see if we need to be concerned. And what is going on currently? The elections. Here we are all over again. The Alliance of State Forces wins 23 seats according to the preliminary results of the provincial election. Yes, we have the elections are going on at the current moment. This is Iraq slowly but surely getting back out there to do business internationally. So yes, what the IMF is saying is really good. But no, the exchange rate isn't going to change tomorrow. It's just another step in the right direction for Iraq. Anyways, you guys, let me know what you think. I look forward to hearing from you. I'll catch you later. I'm out.